Chapter 6. In the early morning, I knew it was early because the air was still cool and there was dampness on the boards of the raft. I heard Timothy shout, "I see land to be true!" In wild excitement, I stumbled up and fell overboard. I went under the water, yelling for him, and then when I came up gasping, I heard a splash, and I knew he was in the water too. Something slapped against my leg, and I thought it was Timothy. I knew how to swim, but I didn't know which way to go. So I was treading water. Then I heard Timothy's frightened roar, "Sharks!" And he was thrashing around near me. He grabbed my hair with one hand and used the other arm to drag me towards the raft. I turned my face and was trying to hold my breath. Then I felt my body being thrown, and I was back on the board of the raft, gasping for air, and I knew Timothy was still in the water because I could hear him splashing and cursing. The raft tilted down suddenly on one side. Timothy was back aboard, panting, bent over me. He yelled, "You darn fool, man! I told you about the shark!" I knew Timothy was in a rage. I could hear his heavy breathing, and I knew he was staring at me. "Shark! All around us! All the time!" he roared. I said, "I'm sorry." Timothy said, "Oh, this raft you crawl, young boss, you hear me?" I nodded, and his voice was thick with anger. But in a moment, after he took several deep breaths, he goes, "Are you all right, young boss?" I guess I sat down beside me to rest. His breathing was still heavy. Finally, he said, "Man die quick out here." We both forgotten about the island. I said, "Timothy, you said you saw an island?" He laughed. "Oh, yeah, the island. There it is." I said, "Where?" Timothy answered scornfully, "There, look, man, look." Angrily, I said, I can't see." He had kept forgetting that. His voice got low, and he said, "Oh, yes, young boss, that be true. In all the harassment with the shark, I did forget." Then I felt his hands on my shoulder, and he twisted them. "That direction, young boss." Straining to look where he pointed me, I asked, "Are there people on it?" "'Tis a very small island, outrageous low." I repeated, "Are there any people on it?" I thought I could contact my father, and he would send for help. Timothy answered honestly, "No, young boss, no people. People not be living on this island. That is no water. No people, no water, no food, no phones. It wasn't any better than being on the raft. In fact, it might be even worse." "Well, how far away are we?" "Oh, about 2 miles, Timothy said." "Maybe we should stay on the raft. A schooner will see us, or an airplane." Timothy said positively, "No, we better off on the land. And we be drifting that way anyway. The tide be running with us." His voice was happy. He wanted to be off the sea. I was certain my father had planes and ships out there looking for us, and I said, "Timothy, the Navy is searching for us, I know." Timothy didn't answer me. He just said, "This a pretty thing. To be sure, I see white beach, and behind that, the low sea-grape bushes. Then on the hill, there's some palm, maybe 20, 30 palm." I was sure he couldn't even see that far. I said, "Timothy, wouldn't it be better if we just stayed on the raft and found a big island with lots of people on it?" He ignored me. He said, "Blind in the night, I saw surfing washing over the banks off the port, but I did not awaken you, young boss, but knew we'd be getting near the Keys." I said, "I don't want to go on that island." I don't think there was anyone on earth as stubborn as old Timothy. There was steel in his voice when he answered, "Oh, we be going on that island, young boss. That be true." But he knew how I felt because he added, "From this island we be getting help. I true be swear."